Welcome to Fancy Washing LLC. Today I'd like to show you some work being done to one of my neighbor. It's gutters cleaning. We've been cleaning the other house and I noticed my neighbor's gutters full of leaves. And I thought, since I'm here, I'll give you some discount and we'll clean his roof and gutters. That's gutters for the most part. And there were some leaves in the valleys as well. We took care of that. So you see, I'm on the roof and blowing the leaves. That's the fastest and most effective way to get rid of the leaves from the gutters. Although not all the roofs are walkable and not all the roofs are safe. In this case, is pretty much a walkable roof, not requiring the safety equipment. Otherwise, I would use my safety equipment, and in this case, it's not needed. So I go up and down as you can see. Meanwhile, I try to plan my gutters clean ahead, not to walk too much or unnecessary on the roof up and down uh, for the safety and time-wise reasons. But once in a while, I still have to go up and down and go around the roof. I blow leaves and it's it is not windy right now, but sometimes it's windy and you blow on I blow on one side and the leaves end up on the other side. I got to come back and blow it one more time. Anyway, also in this case, I blow it right to the ground, and it's not a big concern. And the gutters themselves, they don't have a lot of moisture. That's the gutters I have cleaned already this year in springtime. So all the all the debris on the very bottom of the gutter were all gone, and this time it just leaves. And all the moisture on the water mainly goes to the downspout until it rains pretty hard, and those leaves prevent the water flow. You can still see the water splashing, but it's clean water. And sometimes when we clean the gutters on the front of the house, we use the vacuum for the most part to keep the driveway clean, to keep the cars clean, to keep the whole front of the house clean and avoiding extra work by cleaning the cars or covering the cars or asking the customer to move the car away. Blowing the blowing the leaves also sometimes requires cleaning the certain portions of the house since if it's angled, sometimes it happens when the wall get dirty with debris. Now you can see I blow the roof itself, and especially on the flat metal flashing, you see accumulation, a lot of debris and leaves and needles. Uh, as you know, the metal flashing they're not friends with moisture and with leaves at all. So that's one of the reasons you gotta clean your roof and gotta soften even more when you have the skylights like those. These skylights are clean this spring and they're still pretty clean. But those flashing that prevents water going to the plywood and inside the roof, uh, that's where the leaves like to settle, as well as valleys. And as you know, valleys made of metal, and you gotta clean keep your valleys of the debris and leaves whole time because it can rot. So you see the roof's pretty dry and pretty safe to walk on. Otherwise, there are some wet areas like here in the valley This valley doesn't have any metal, and so less prone to the damage. But still, the moisture can go into under the asphalt shingles. That is why you want to keep your valleys clean, regardless of whether it's metal or just shingles. I'm at the front of the house and I don't blow the gutters at the front of the house. I let my son to do the gutter vacuuming, like I mentioned before, to keep it cleaner and nicer. I'm on the top of the roof. I've done quite a few jobs to my neighbor. We did some siding, we did some chimney repair, and that's the back of the house. I'm gonna continue to blow the leaves. There is a deck right right in front of me, and a lot of debris and a lot of leaves end up in a deck. And I have tried to blow it out from the roof, yeah, but the way the deck is positioned, it's not enough blowing power, and also the leaves are all wet and heavy. So later on, I had to put the ladder to the deck, get to the deck, and blow the deck right from there, from being on the deck, which took probably another 10 minutes or so, 8, 10 minutes. A lot of evergreen trees around, a lot of needles, but that the oaks that create all the debris and havoc on the roof. In the houses on that side of the street, it's at least twice a year. That's a minimum for every house to do the gutters cleaning twice a year, and especially for the houses with a lot of vegetation around. As you can see, the deck is all with debris, but it's not a problem. Later on, I get on the deck and blow it all away. The gutters themselves, after I blew them off, they were super clean, like they're being cleaned with a rag, all white and all the debris free, since it's pretty powerful backpack blower that I use. You see, I try to blow away all the debris from the deck, but since the leaves are all wet, they're all heavy and won't go away right away. So I did blew some of that to the ground, but still had to get on it and blow from right there. The needles, pine needles, little more headache to when it comes to the gutters cleaning and roof blow off. They stick in between the shingles, under the shingles. They are pretty much stuck and packed in the gutters if they're not cleaned for a while, and it's really much more work with needles. And to prevent that, you got to clean a little more often to prevent the needles sticking everywhere in your roof and gutters, in between the shingles, under the shingles. Also, cleaning the gut. Uh, we use either blower or vacuum cleaner to clean the gutters. And whenever possible, we use the blower. And if it's not an issue, if the debris and the leaves not an issue on the ground, we blow it. And like I mentioned before, sometimes, especially on the front of the house where the cars are parked, and all the nice bushes and flowers at the front of the house. And it's not nice when we come and blow all the debris, all the garbage right into the nice front of the house with all the landscape and probably kids' toys and etc. So most of the time we just blow the front of the house, and not we vacuum the front of the house and we blow the rest of the house. But sometimes still it's nice on the and pretty much accessible on the side of the house, and still if it's a lot of uh, debris in the gutters that potentially creates a lot of work on the ground, we still vacuum it. So it depends on the situation. But like I mentioned, the blowing gutters is the best and the best way to clean the gutters and the most efficient and fastest way. In this case, on the sides and the back of the house, it's not a big deal uh, to blow it down since it's well maintained landscape. When the professional landscapers come and clean it and trim, but still we do clean after ourselves. Uh, we do the best to leave the house the same clean as we've been entrusted. Currently, I'm quite on the front of the house, but I still blow since the it doesn't create any debris or at least too much, and that's where I stopped since we're near to the front of the house, and you see the wall right in front of me, the blue wall in front of me. I don't want to blow all that debris right into the wall, and I want to stop right there and let my son to just vacuum all the rest of debris and keep it as clear as possible and collect all the debris into the vacuum instead of picking up from the floor. Thanks for being with us and have a nice day.